Appeal Court holds Sanusi's reinstatement. Defense headquarters say troops killed 74 terrorists, apprehended 130 suspects in various operations. Rivers Assembly adjourns sittings indefinitely as Fubara plans budget presentation Wednesday. On the foreign scene, pro-Palestinian protesters fill New York's Trump Tower. Hello and welcome to Trust News Updates. I am Chiamaka Mwafo. Thank you for joining us. The Court of Appeal Abuja has suspended the enforcement of its judgment, which had quashed the Federal High Court ruling nullifying the Kano State government steps regarding the reinstatement of Sanusi Lamido Sanusi as the Emir of Kano. The ruling was delivered by a three-man appeal court panel led by Justice Okon Abang. The suspension is pending the final verdict on the Kano Emirate Tussle by the Supreme Court of Nigeria in view of the Kano State Emirate Council Repeal Law 2024. Sanusi's reinstatement followed the passage of the Kano State Emirate Council Repeal Law 2024 by the State House of Assembly amid a legal dispute instituted by the legal team of Al-Aji Aminu Baba Dangundi, who holds the title of Salikin Dawaki Baba, one of the kingmakers. A federal high court sitting in Kano had in June 2024 nullified the steps taken to reappoint Muhammad Sanusi II as the 16th Emir of Kano following an application by Baba.
The Emir of Kano, Alhaji Amina Ado Bayero, as at today, and all the other emirs remain the legitimate emirs of Kano, Rano, and all the other emirs in Kano. And I will expect the Inspector General of Police, the DGSS, and all other security agents to respect this ruling of this honorable court. Because what they are saying is they should maintain status quo ante.
Even Kaduna State former Governor Nasiru El-Rufai has decried the arrest of his former Commissioner Ja'far Usani in Kaduna by the security agencies. El-Rufai, in a social media video being circulated, said shortly after his arrest, Sani was arraigned before the court without any charges.
Fellow compatriots, yesterday our colleague Ja'far Ibrahim Sani, our former commissioner, was abducted on the streets of Kaduna, arraigned before a magistrate without any charges or first information report, and immediately remanded at the Kaduna Correctional Facility or Kaduna Prison. Ja'far's only offense is that he has joined the SDP, thereby defecting from the APC. The intolerance of democratic opposition is unacceptable. The Kaduna State government cannot be allowed to continue to misuse the security agencies for this purpose. Let us all stand up and fight for our democracy. Thank you.
President Bola Tinubu has declared that Nigeria faced imminent bankruptcy if his administration had not swiftly ended the fuel subsidy and implemented crucial economic reforms. Receiving a delegation of former National Assembly colleagues from the aborted Third Republic at the State House in Abuja, Tinubu explained that his actions were motivated by the need to protect the interests of future generations. Here's more in this report.
Highlighting the conditions at the outset of his administration, Tinubu noted the social and economic challenges confronting the country, emphasizing that decisive steps were necessary to prevent financial collapse.
We faced a very serious headwind when I took over. A very turbulent takeoff, very challenging. Nigeria will have been bankrupt if we didn't take the action that we took to prevent economic collapse. For 40, 50 years, Nigeria was spending the money, the future of our generation yet unborn in arrears, or in advance of their being born.
Speaking on behalf of the visiting delegation, Senator Emmanuel Waka expressed his appreciation for several of the administration's initiatives, including the Nigerian Education Loan Fund and the Nigerian Consumer Credit Corporation, describing them as impactful programs capable of alleviating both educational burdens and financial stress.
We are delighted that you have not forgotten your primary constituency, which is the legislature. The chief of staff is one of us, and the secretary to the government. We are happy about that, and it's our belief and hope that some of us are still strong to work from the Third Republic National Assembly. We wish you well and will continue to pray for you.
Other members of the delegation included Senator Bako Musa Tawase Obunde, Honorable Wasiu Logun, Amina Aliyu, Obi Anolifo, and Eze Wawa.
The Defense Headquarters says troops killed a total of 74 terrorists, apprehended 130 suspects, and rescued 61 kidnapped hostages in various operations conducted between March 5th and 13th. The Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Marcos Kange, disclosed this in a weekly report on ongoing military operations across the country on Friday in Abuja. Kange said the successful operations were jointly carried out by the land component of the armed forces, teams from the Office of the National Security Advisor, security agencies, and hybrid forces. He stated that the troops recovered 71 assorted weapons, including 32 AK-47 rifles, 15 locally fabricated guns, 9 Dane guns, 3 pump-action guns, 2 locally made pistols, and 10 other assorted arms. According to him, troops also recovered 1,202 rounds of ammunition, comprising 1,133 assorted rounds of 7.622 mm ammunition and 69 live cartridges. Kange further revealed that 143 terrorists, including 5 adult males, 66 adult females, and 73 children, surrendered to troops in the Northeast Theater of Operations during the week. Over in Oyo State, the new Commissioner of Police, Johnson Olufemi Adeola, has urged his officers to restore public trust by demonstrating discipline, fairness, and respect for diversity. He made the statement during his inaugural press briefing in Ibadan, the state capital, where he also vowed to tackle crime and criminality head-on. The report.
Newly appointed Oyo State Commissioner Johnson Olufemi Adeola vowed to identify, isolate, and prosecute individuals threatening the state's peace during his inaugural briefing.
We will work to maintain strict discipline within our rank to ensure professionalism and respectful conduct. This includes adherence to code of conduct, respect for hierarchy, and adherence to established protocols. Secondly, upholding the rule of law and citizens' rights. Our policing strategy shall be anchored on firm commitment to the rule of law and protection of citizens' rights. We will uphold justice, fairness, and dignity for all, fostering trust and confidence between law enforcement and the communities we serve.
The police chief also revealed that the command has beamed its searchlight on fleeing bandits that have converted forests to its place of abode and committing heinous crimes against humanity. He promises to restore confidence in security architecture by bringing the criminals to justice.
Oyo State Police Command, under my leadership, will maintain a robust security framework making Oyo State hostile to criminal elements. We are staunchly committed to fostering a strong partnership with resident stakeholders inclusive to build a safer, more secure state where everyone can thrive. With your support and collaboration, I'm very confident that Oyo State will witness robust policing environment that fosters peace and security from this moment onward.
Oyo State new police chief also met with officers to review the command's security architecture and develop a comprehensive roadmap to tackle crime. The command vows to be intentional, decisive, and firm in implementing this plan, aiming to enhance security across the state.
Over in Rivers State, the House of Assembly on Friday adjourned its sittings indefinitely during a plenary session presided over by the Speaker, Martin Amewule, in Port Harcourt, the state capital. Development comes hours after the state governor, Siminalayi Fubara, wrote to the Speaker, informing him of his intention to present the 2025 appropriation bill for consideration and approval. The governor had asked to present the budget on Wednesday, March 19, 2025, or any other day within March that the House may deem fit. Fubara said his decision was in compliance with the Supreme Court judgment and in response to the lawmakers' request for him to re-present the budget. As the alarming rate of glaucoma in Nigeria, particularly in the north, surges, poverty and illiteracy have been identified as the factors responsible for the rise in the disease. According to experts, the north has 400 to 500 cases of glaucoma, which calls for urgent action to reverse the situation. This was revealed as the World Glaucoma Day, which is marked world over to reflect on the disease. Here's more in this report.
Glaucoma is a silent thief of sight, and the only way to contain it is through regular eye check by individuals. However, economic hardship and other factors are major setbacks in an effort to address the prevalence of glaucoma. Despite the alarming rate, residents of Assalamu Alaikum community at Mondo Kaduna are struggling to survive due to economic hardship, which is making it possible for them to access medical care.
People get this eye problem and then can't go to hospital because of money. So some people don't have money to go to the hospital.
Some of the people, their time is time for sure. Some people don't even get time to go to hospital to go and check themselves.
Experts say glaucoma is a disease commonly in blacks than whites, particularly after age 40, adding that every Nigerian is in danger of glaucoma, an avoidable cause of irreversible blindness.
For glaucoma, it has some certain risk factors, and then one of the risk factors has been found to be of black race. So glaucoma is more prevalent in the blacks, which we happen to be Africans. So being a black is a risk factor for us to have glaucoma.
According to Dr. Hashia Kana, an ophthalmologist at the National Eye Care Center Kaduna, the rise in the condition is due to illiteracy.
Because of illiteracy and a lot of factors go undiagnosed, but the estimate of people in northern Nigeria that have glaucoma should be about 500,000. Because in the whole of the country is about 1.1 to 1.4 million people aged 40 years and above. So in northern Nigeria is about 400 to 500,000 people.
While advocating for more awareness, experts advise people to take eye checkups seriously. Bello Musa, Trust TV News Kaduna.
Coming up after the break. Cost of preparing stew in Nigerian homes rise significantly. There's more when we return. Please stay with us.
This is Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Now a recap of our top stories. Appeal Court holds Sanusi's reinstatement. And Defense Headquarters say troops killed 74 terrorists, apprehended 130 suspects in various operations. We move to Jigawa State, where Governor Umar Namadi has officially launched the Safe Schools Security Initiative, aimed at enhancing the protection of critical public facilities across the state. The initiative, which saw the recruitment and deployment of 9,974 youths, is a strategic move to safeguard schools and other essential public infrastructure from vandalism and destruction. Here's more.
Speaking at the inauguration ceremony, Governor Namadi emphasized the importance of security in ensuring an enabling environment for education, healthcare, and other public services. He reiterated his administration's commitment to addressing security challenges that have led to destruction of public property by unscrupulous individuals.
9,974 young men and women will be employed to take care of our schools, our health institutions, and our courts, and also our water facilities across the state. These initiatives aim at saving the investment made in these places.
The initiative targets locations that have been particularly vulnerable to acts of vandalism, including schools, courts, health facilities, and water stations. The security guards will be stationed across all 27 local government areas in the state to ensure widespread coverage and maximum effectiveness. The governor further highlighted that security guards, who are predominantly youth from the state, will be trained and equipped with necessary skills to effectively carry out their duties. This initiative not only enhances security, but also serves as an employment opportunity for thousands of young people, contributing to youth empowerment and economic growth.
Please don't use this uniform to terrorize people in your community. The uniform are symbol of authority. Symbol of authority to prevent wrongdoings. It is not an authority to terrorize people in your communities. So I urge you to be a very responsible citizens of Jigawa State. I urge you to be very responsible citizens of your respective communities.
Community leaders and residents are optimistic that the initiative will go a long way in protecting public infrastructure and fostering a safer environment for learning and essential services.
The security of life of people and their properties is paramount. So what government is doing now is to complement that ethics and that intention. Though we have schools sited in communities, courthouses, water facilities, water station facilities, and health facilities, institutions all around.
Out of the number of youth we have out there, they say we have this number. At one go, they are getting opportunity to have a job doing. In the morning, they have where to go, they know what they are doing, and perhaps the biggest is they are earning a living and they are contributing back to the quota financially.
Governor Namadi called on all stakeholders, including local government authorities, traditional rulers, and community members, to support the security guards in discharge of their duties to ensure the success and sustainability of the initiative. The Safe School Security Initiative is part of broader strategy by Jigawa State Government to strengthen security measures, protect public investment, and create conducive atmosphere for development across the state.
The cost of preparing a pot of stew in Nigerian homes has risen significantly, forcing many families to opt for more affordable alternatives like bomo, cow skin, and boiled eggs instead of meat and fish. Speaking to women, particularly mothers, they expressed deep concerns about the high cost of making stew for a family of 5.
The rising cost of preparing a pot of stew in Nigeria has been attributed to several factors, with food inflation being a major cause. Currently, pomo and eggs are relatively cheaper and more affordable than meat, fish, chicken, and turkey. For instance, 1 kilogram of Titus fish now costs 5,000 naira and is usually cut into just 4 pieces. Additionally, the prices of key ingredients like tomato, pepper, and cooking oil have surged significantly. As a result, preparing a small pot of stew in Nigeria today costs no less than 10,000 naira. Speaking to Lagos residents, particularly mothers, they shared their frustration about the escalating cost of preparing a meal for their families.
The cheapest cost of making pomo stew now is 10,000 naira. And with 10,000 naira cost of pomo stew, it can only last a day or two at most for a family that manages their eating level very well. To last at most 2 days. For making pot of chicken stew, you would need to spend about 15,000 naira, which will last equally 2 days for a family of 5.
You go to Boma. When you go to Boma, at least you can get Boma 200 naira. Get Boma 200 naira. At least you buy about 3,000 naira own as a family of 5. Buy tomatoes. At least that tomatoes will cost you at least 3,000 too. Tomatoes and patacha and the other things. Then you buy a bottle of ororo. Bottle of ororo is 2,500 per bottle. You buy maggi, buy other ingredients.
Meat or turkey, very, very costly. So we can, only pomo is the cheapest thing to make stew. Pomo stew. If my family will last 2 days because we are not eating it every regularly. We can eat afternoon, we cannot eat in the evening, we eat in the morning. Continue with the stew. Can change it because make it last.
To make it stew now is very, very expensive because we buy crates of as crate of today now. I buy crates of tomato per crate is 17,000 naira. Then bag of pepper, small bag, is 75,000 naira. The small bag of bawa is 35,000 naira.
Many households, especially mothers, attribute the high cost of food items to rising transportation expenses. They believe that if transportation costs were reduced, food prices could also become more affordable.
Hundreds of Jewish demonstrators overran New York's Trump Tower on Thursday in support of Palestinians as well as detained Palestinian student campaigner Mahmoud Khalil. The building was also where Trump memorably wrote down a golden escalator in 2015 to announce his first run for president. Police said they arrested 98 people marching under the banner of the group called Jewish Voice for Peace for crimes including trespassing. Police loaded detained protesters and buses, including a repurposed city bus, in front of the Gucci store at the foot of the tower as a helicopter and drone flew overhead. The short statement did not provide further details such as who had been sanctioned, but comes less than a week after the Trump administration caught $400 million in federal funding for the university, accusing it of not sufficiently addressing anti-Semitism. It also comes days after Khalil, a recent graduate and one of the protest leaders, was detained by immigration authorities. Finally, in sports, Liverpool's Trent Alexander-Arnold will miss the League Cup final against Newcastle with an ankle injury that leaves the defender facing an extended spell on the sidelines. Alexander-Arnold was injured in the second half of Liverpool's Champions League last 16 penalty shootout defeat against Paris Saint-Germain at Anfield on Tuesday. 26-year-old's upset is a huge blow to Liverpool boss Arne Slot, who is without a recognised right back for Sunday's showdown with Newcastle at Wembley. Conor Bradley and Joe Gomez, the usual candidates to replace Alexander-Arnold, are both still recovering from injuries. Alexander-Arnold was left out of the England squad named by Thomas Tuchel on Friday ahead of their World Cup qualifiers later in March. League Cup holders Liverpool are aiming to win the first trophy of Slot's reign when they face Newcastle this weekend. On a side note, Nigeria lost one of its distinguished diplomats, Ambassador Lamin Matidin, who passed away in Abuja. He was laid to rest at the Gudu Burial Ground following Islamic rites, with prayers led by the Chief Imam of the National Mosque after the Jumu'ah service. Ambassador Lamin Matidin, a former Nigerian envoy to Zimbabwe and other nations, was also among the pioneer staff of the Nigerian Intelligence Agency. The late ambassador, who passed away Friday morning, was described by many as a humble and kind man. The late ambassador's father, Alhaji Ahmed Matidin, was naturalized. The diplomatic community, along with members of the Bariwa Old Boys Association, also paid tribute to Matidin, acknowledging his contributions as an early career icon in Nigeria's foreign service. His children, speaking to Trust TV News, expressed their grief but also gratitude to the Almighty for granting him a long life as he lived to nearly 90 years.
Well, we thank God for his life. It's a sad day, but we thank God for the life he lived. Well, I think I can't quantify the legacies. There's so much, there's so many. He taught us a lot of things, and I think he was a perfect gentleman, and we learned a lot from him. We're going to miss him. We really are.
Of course, he was a good man. We're grateful to Allah for preserving him for so long. He would have been 90 by October. In Allah's will, he did not make it to 90, but Alhamdulillah, we're happy for having him with us this long. And may Allah grant him Al-Jannah. May Allah make the grave easy for him. And may Allah forgive him all his sins.
May his soul rest in peace. That concludes news updates at this time. For more news programs and documentaries, do to follow us on our social media platforms and on our YouTube live stream. I am Chiamaka Nwafo. Thank you for joining us at this time. Good evening.